Good morning, Neil from Magpie Brewing. So after unboxing the Guten 70 litre system a few days ago, I thought she's all cleaned up now and I thought we'd put a brew on. So today's brew is going to be a golden ale. It's a single malt brew with Voyager Valoria schooner malt. Use this malt a lot for single grains. Really nice colour, good head retention and a nice flavour. And we're going to hop it up. We're going to Magnum for bitter and then Centennial and Mosaic hops will be used for flavour and aroma. Going to do a dry hop 4 days after it. Looking for about 5%, I think the recipe says. Done some water calculations yesterday in the system. Might have got it right, hopefully I got close. You never know if the water is correct until you throw a brew on. So we'll get this brew on and I'll come back to you. Thank you. Bye. Okay guys, so being the first brew, I thought I'd try the auto programming out. I alter the system a little bit for the auto programming. So we'll do that now and it's quite simple to do. You just press auto. And I want 3000 watts. I only want 1 minute, but the temperature, of course, I want it to come down. So I want 63 degrees. Ran a bit of a test on this yesterday and I worked out with the glass thermometer that I use, which is a very good thermometer. The system's about 2 degrees hotter than what shows on here. So I was going to adjust it, but I just thought, no, I'll leave it because that'll give me a little bit higher boiling temperature maybe. And it's 2 degrees and I'm the only one that uses the system, so it doesn't really matter a lot. So 63 or 65, I want to do a mash of 65 degrees. I only want to do it at 1200. I'm going to try 1200 on this. I used to do 800 on the 40 litre system, but I only had about 20 litres of grains in it. This one I've got 10 litres of grain, so I'll try 1200 and see if we hold the temperature there. And of course we want to do it for 60 minutes. Then auto again. I am going to do a mash out. So for the mash out I'll go 3000 watts. I'll bring it back down to 75 degrees, which will give me about 77, which is around where I normally mash out, 75, 77, so it's all good. Then I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to hold the mash out at a lower temperature just to see if it holds it, you know. So we'll go temperature, we'll add to 75 and we'll go for 20 minutes. Oh, wattage, I think we'll try 12 again. If 12 doesn't hold the mash, of course I might put this up to 15, but we'll just see if 12, I reckon 12 will hold it, and the timer of course 20 minutes. Then we press auto again, and we're going to go temperature, which is going to be, this will be our boil. We'll just get him right up there. Roger. 3000 watt. I'm going to boil at 3000 watt. She'll be a pretty fearsome boil, I would imagine, but I just want to see what the boil off is more than anything, so I'm going to go the whole hog there. I'm thinking I'm doing a double batch of 46 litres, so I'm thinking probably a 2500, 2700 would probably do it. So I'm going to boil for 60 minutes. So then I just press auto and auto again, and it should start. And there we go. So I'll wait, and I normally put the grains in at around 60, 61 degrees, do a pH reading. I'll come back to you when we're at temperature. Hello guys, well we're back. We got the boiler up to 61 degrees. So now I'll mash in. When I mash in, I actually put the grains in the mash basket and I just slowly lower them. And I find that I don't get as many dough balls. So I just do it slowly, and then I'll recirculate the water over it just to wet the top of the grains. And I don't know, I just find that well, I don't think I get any grain balls out of it. So that's what I've done, and now I just slowly get the pump going, just a bit around the top. Don't want it going real fast. That's one thing I have found with this, the pump is fairly strong. So I just wet the top of the grains, it just helps them settle in a bit. You can see them, they start to sink there. So, and I just do this, and then when it's all mashed in, we'll let it go for with the 60 minutes. Every now and then, just while I'm doing this, I was a couple of points down with the Valoria schooner, and so I've milled this one a little bit finer, and I haven't added any rice hulls because it looks a pretty good mash anyway. But I'm not real big on point. Yeah, it's nice when you hit your targets, you know, and it gives you something to aim at. But like 1 or 2 points normally only equates to maybe 1 or 2%. Long as the beer converts, and long as everything converts, I think it's good, you know. So, but as I say, so I've mashed this one a little bit finer, crushed her up, and it's not a bad looking crush there. So I'll see how we go with it. So we'll let this mash in. We might have a bit of a look at it as it clears, just to show you the colour this clears to, and then we'll come back. Alright guys, I'm thinking you can see that. I've just started doing RO waters, and I was after a pH of 5.4, and I've got 5.2, so 5.2 is still alright. Be interesting to see what it is at the end of the brew. But well, there we go guys, not long to go in the mash now, about 20 minutes, and you can see how clear and golden that wort is. I've had the thermometer in there, and I've been mashing at 1200 watts, and it's been pretty good. It's averaged between, like, it's got down to 64 and about 65.5, but it's held the temperature really well. I reckon probably 1000 watt might even suffice, you know. The thermometer I use, I don't know whether you can see it, but it's a really good thermometer, and it's a glass thermometer. It was purchased from the Brew man at brewman.com.au, and it's fully submergible. I've got a bit of fishing line tied to it, you know, so you can dunk it down the middle. But the wort on top at the moment is just sitting on 64, but I did lift the top plate off. I'm not so much interested in the liquid temperature, I'm more interested in the temperature of the grain bed, and the grain bed was dead on 65, so very happy with it. But those thermometers, guys, they're really accurate. They're not real dear, and Steve will certainly send one out if you want one. Just thought I'd point something out, guys, as I've never mashed with a sight glass before. So I've been watching the sight glass, and I've got a layer of about half an inch, I suppose, on top of the top plate of wort flowing through, and it's really good. But what I noticed is when I got a bit keen and I tried to get the pump to go a bit faster, currently on about 3/4 I guess, that water level in the sight glass started to drop, which indicated to me that of course I'm taking more off the bottom, and I might be in danger of scorching. So I've been watching that, and I've sort of worked out now, just run the pump, watch that sight glass, and when the sight glass is steady and you've got a nice thin layer of wort on top of your top plate or on top of your grain, if you don't use the top plate, it's well worthwhile watching, and you'll always be safe. You won't run it dry. Just a tip. Hello, still on Brewday. So we're on to the boil. About 10 minutes into the boil there now, and as you can see, we've got a nice healthy rolling boil going. I missed my pre-boil gravity by 2 points. That's not too bad with some of my Valoria schooner pre-boils. I normally pick a point up on the boil, so it could be a combination. It's more than likely water. I think I'm about 1 to 2 litres of water in excess. Quite happy with it. It cleared up fine, and it's boiling really nicely. So we'll let it boil away, and we'll get back to you when the boil's finished. So guys, we're just 10 minutes from the end of the boil, and I've put the immersion chiller in that come with the unit. Said I was going to give it a go. I thought I'd give it a go, but what I've done, got a bit fancy here, and I put my smaller immersion chiller in the industrial fridge last night and got it down to about 1 degrees. Groundwater here is about 24-25 degrees today, so I'm going to run through the cold water through the immersion chiller and see what sort of result I get. Anything's worth a try. It's probably going to leak like a sieve, and anyway, it's on a concrete floor, it's not going to hurt anything. So we'll see how she goes, cooling it down. So here we are here. There's my bucket with the little fella in it. Bit of plumbing, expert plumbing there. Over to the big unit where the boil's going on. Brewing that beautiful beer, that golden ale that we're going to get into in about 4 to 5 weeks time. And out of there, and yeah, cool it down. Cheers. Later. Alright, so I've only had that running now for about 3 to 4 minutes. It's already knocked it down to nearly 85 degrees, so maybe I'm onto something here. That's nearly as effective as my homemade counterflow chiller. So we'll say I started knocking it down, yeah, about 3 minutes ago. So just see how it goes. That's going to take it down fairly quickly. I have got the whirlpool arm in there and going, I think that helps a bit too. Not that I'm trying to whirlpool much because I use the hop spider, but I reckon we'll get this down pretty quick and pretty effective. I'll be back shortly. Okay, well there we go, we got it down to 42 degrees or just on in 20 odd minutes. So that's not too bad, actually it's really good. So now I'm going to transfer the Kyvik to be Kyvik fermented yeast, and I'll pump that out into the fermenter now. So this will be the stainless steel fermenter's first go at it, and hopefully the Kyvik will go well in it. I'm going to try and do it at about between 30 and 38 degrees. There's a pretty wide mark there. See how we go. I've got to pump it out because of the height of it. So we just pump it out, and I've got that I've got that hop spider in there, the fine one, and it'll catch some of the cold break for me, make it a little bit cleaner. So it's pretty hard to look at the numbers. I think I've probably ended up with about maybe two litres more wort than I estimated I would. I'm gonna put 6 gallons in each, which I've worked out. 6 gallons is about 22 and a bit litres. So I'll put that in, and hopefully I get that in each of them. If I've got any left, well, we'll adjust our numbers for the software as we go. So basically end of the brew day there, guys, and I appreciate the views. And after these guys are fermented out, we'll see. We're going to do a Kyvik yeast, and we're going to do a verdant IPA yeast in the other one. See if there's any differences. I'm not sure about the time because I leave most of my brews in the fermenters for 2 weeks in any case. So I'll catch us on the return. Cheers and bye.